Hello, everyone. I'm Mark,
I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark's eighth game, her best game as a pro, in my opinion. I think in everybody's opinion. And don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. And if you do, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified of our future videos, which are every day, pretty much. It might not be every day in football season, but it's every day now through the Olympics and through basketball season. Feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments and share our videos with people so we can grow our channel. We're only 2 months old, and we appreciate your support. Rob, what do you want to say about last night's game 8 for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever?
Well, I'm in a I told you so mode. I told you.
Oh, really, Rob?
Oh, yes.
How dare you?
I told you that all these people were saying she's a one-trick pony. She's not that good. She's gonna be just a one-time, whatever, flash in the pan. She showed all of you that last night.
You mean she's not a bust? She's not a bust?
I guess right. She just made the
Come on, I was listening to the haters, Rob. I was convinced they were right.
Yeah, they were kind of flipping me over too. I almost, but no, I'm sorry. I told you so. I knew she would get a 30-point game. Not only a 30-point game, she had 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and then the defense, 3 steals and 3 blocks. I think she's the first rookie in WNBA to do that. So I told you so.
And she's the first rookie in 8 games to get 100 points and 50 assists in 8 games.
Right.
I watched the game. I will say it was her best game so far. I would not call it a great game because of the 7 turnovers. As you know, I try to be very objective, and we just did a video on that. But overall, it was an excellent game. I think without the turnovers, it would have been a great game. More with like 3 turnovers instead of 7. 1 or 2 might not have been her fault. They didn't handle their passers, but still, I thought she played excellent, and she tried to carry the team, but the team wasn't cooperating. And then she sat down in the third quarter for the second half of the third quarter, and the other team went on it. They were up when she sat down, and they went on 11-0 run when she was on the bench.
Right, I did see that.
And ended up losing by 6.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why, but Mitchell was on the bench in the end of the fourth quarter. I don't know if because she wasn't shooting well, or if she didn't like it. They were minus 17 when she was in. And Smith, who I actually think is a good player, who's not even starting now because Feg Benley is starting, although I think Smith should also start. She was only in for, I saw this, I couldn't believe it. She was negative 24 plus minus, and she only played 19 minutes. I guess she was in there during the third quarter. I think she's lost coming off the bench. I think that's a mistake. I would start the 3 forwards and two guards. She's been starting 3 guards and 2 forwards.
Mitchell tries to do a little bit too much. I think she shoots too much. I think to my thing, she like I said, the proverbial ball hog. Sometimes
She dribbles.
Give up the ball.
She dribbles and drives
way too much.
Too much. What I was trying to say, Rob, is Fig Benley is agile enough and quick enough that she could cover a tall guard if the other team starts 3 guards. I really think that should be the starting lineup is Smith, Boston, Fig-Benley, and Mitchell and Clark. And so far she hasn't done it once.
I think she should be, like I said, you need that 6th person to come off the bench. I think she should still not start, but come off the bench to get them going. Because sometimes they start out really slow, and then when she comes in, you see
they can come off the bench and give them a spark. They're just young players; they could do it. But she's already starting her, and then she benched Smith, and Smith was playing fairly well. And so I didn't understand that. She's starting. Sometimes she starts Wallace, and I think she started Samuelson the game before that. She started Wallace yesterday, and I just don't agree with it. But that's. I'm not the coach, so we'll see.
Well, her rotation of substitution is kind of like mind-boggling. I'm wondering, what are you doing? I mean, it's got to be more. After 8 games, you should kind of get a knowledge of who to put in and when to put them in, instead of switching around. Because it's not good for the flow of the game, also for the players. You don't know when you're going to come in or not. It's like, what's the deal? Yeah. So when you take me out after I'm hot and let me sit there for like 3 or 4 minutes, that's not good either.
Yeah, I'm mind-boggled. The whole thing is mind-boggling to me. in terms of what she did and try to change the offense to be her offense instead of Clark's, and instead of just taking her. It wasn't until the 6th game where she gave her the keys. I would have gave her the keys in game 1. As you know, I saw what she could do at Iowa, and she took her to the 6th game to do that. And as soon as she did that, they won a game.
So another thing with Clark Clark did get a technical, but the one thing I did like about her and her after the game, she's evaluating her own self, and she goes, she's saying what we're saying. I got to stop forcing the play. I'm a little hesitant on the passes, and that's why I'm having the turnovers. She even admits that she's got to be less hesitant on her passing and just make the pass.
Oh, it's a new team, and so everybody's cutting differently and different skill levels. But I watched the game, and she had 3 blocks, and 2 of them were like great blocks, not blocks that. And this is not meant to be derogatory towards women, but women, when they make a block, it's not as athletic, and they don't jump up as high as when a man makes a block. It's usually more the person drives the basket, or they're just in front of them, they just put their arm up and block it. They don't jump as high as men, as we know. But Clark got up in the air for 2 of those blocks out of the 3 that I think, maybe all 3, but they were nice blocks. And I never even saw those type of blocks when she was at Iowa. I saw her get the ones I just described, where they just kind of like was in front of her and she just blocked the person. So I was impressed with her defense yesterday. It was best defense she's played in her entire career, as far as I can tell. I didn't see every game in Iowa, but I saw a lot of her games, especially the junior and senior year, and never saw a defense like that by her. 3 steals, I've seen her do that before, but the blocks were impressive. And, she missed an assignment once or twice. And in fact, the whole team missed assignments on 3-point shots. If you saw what happened, the 3rd quarter run, there were 3-point shots. And these women weren't guarded close enough when they made the 3-point shots. And that's on the team, and that's on the coaching, and that's on the players. Because 2 people who did that was, is Nurse. She was 5 for 6 from the 3-point line, scored 22 points. And McDonald came off the bench and had a really nice game. And she was 3 for 5 on that, and she scored 21 points.
That's the problem right there. If you have to adjust, you have to adjust to that. If the person's coming in is like, hello, can you put somebody out there on her, or switch to a zone or whatever. But you have to make as a coach, you have to make adjustments.
There has to be better communication. The Los Angeles Sparks were 14 for 23 at 60.9%. And Indiana Fever was 10 for 30. So why do you think they lost the game? 10 for 30 compared to 14 for 23 at 33% as opposed to 60.9%. It's not just because you're making the shot. It's partly because the defense isn't there challenging it and contesting it. And so that was the reasons, at least in watching the game, we're not even looking at the stats. That's the impression I got of why they lost that, because that seemed to be the main thing.
Also with Caitlin, we talked about with her free throw shooting, 13 for 15. That also helped with scoring. That's part of scoring.
Yeah, we did a video on her strengths and weaknesses, and we forgot to mention her free throw shooting as a strength. She shot 86% at Iowa, and she's shooting 88% right now. And she scored 30 points yesterday, besides the great defense. And she didn't shoot great. She shot pretty well. I think it was 9 for 17 and 3 for 10, but she was 13 for 15 free throws. But she was efficient because she scored 30 points and only took 17 shots. So that's a good thing, because I've seen games where scorers score 25 points, they take 25 shots, and that's not efficient.
Right.
It's not good for the team. But again, the turnovers need to cut down. Maybe if she had committed 3 turnovers, they would have won. But it really the defense wasn't there.
Well, she said it herself that she says I'm going downhill more. That's why she's probably got to the free throw line more, which is good. That's what you do. If you're a good free throw shooter, you should get to the free throw line. That's how you do it. She's starting to realize that, not to just keep bombing from the outside. It's like, oh, I can get to the line and score and help the team.
Right. Cameron Brink got a little didn't get a lot of playing time yesterday. No. I'm not sure why. She got some early fouls, but let me just see how many fouls she ended up with, because she only played 24 minutes, but she only ended up with three personal fouls. She had a couple early ones. She didn't have a great shooting game, but only had 3 points. and 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. She did have 2 blocks in just 24 minutes. But those are the big thing. And Rakia Jackson, the other rookie, she didn't shoot that well either. She only had 12 points. She was 2 for 7, 1 for 3. Hamby's their big scorer normally. She had 17 points. She was 6 for 12.
How about you?
Sorry?
How about your girl, Lexi Brown?
Lexi Brown, she got injured. I think because she only played 12 minutes, and I didn't see her come back in. Someone hit her unintentionally, and she was only 1 for 1. She had 3 points, and she had 4 rebounds in 12 minutes. She played pretty well and had assists, but she got injured. I think she hit her head or something like that.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember the play.
no.
Yeah, so she only played 12 minutes. Yeah, she's a hater on Clark, so that's why she's my girl. But she's a woman, young woman, right? Okay. So anyway, we were just joking about that. All right. So she didn't play poorly though. She's a bit. If you don't know, Lexi Brown goes on Gilbert Arenas, what I call disaster cast or disaster podcast, and she just for like 2 months all she did was
whatever show.
Yeah. Anyway, and Gilbert Arenas never corrects her, so that's why I call it a disaster cast. Anyways, that's what happened with that. It's unfortunate.
So do you think that's gonna? I'm sorry, Mark. Do you think so? Do you think that now, maybe after this game, are people still gonna say, why are we putting so much emphasis on Caitlin Clark, and what's the big deal about her, and why?
Well, it's only one game, Rob. She does need a few more great games before we start saying, hey, she's turned the corner, because she could have a lousy game the next game. Let's see how she does in this stretch coming up right here. They got more.
But I think she opened up some eyes.
Go ahead. I think they have 3 home games in a row. So,
yeah, but I think she opened up some eyes though of some people. So just to let them know that she's there. She's there.
She's improving. She's improved like the last 3 games. She's played well. So overall, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, she's still her assist to turnover ratio is not good, but I thought her defensive effort and defensive skills, because those are 2 different things, were both great yesterday, and that was more impressive to me than the 30 points, because I knew she could score 30 points. I knew she can hit threes. I know she can hit the free throws.
Right.
I know she could explode for 30 anytime she wants. Especially when they're not playing like the best defensive teams in the league. So that didn't surprise me. What surprised me was the defense. And I'm happy for her and her team, because if she sets the tone, maybe everybody else will start playing better defense. Because now I think she missed an assignment or 2 also on the 3-point shots. So her defense wasn't perfect. But they need to – the coach needs to emphasize that. And they need – because they're going to win some games. They're going to have be better on defense and the defensive assignments.
What about with Boston? I mean, with Boston, she had like not too bad a game.
Yeah, she's turned the corner. Also, she started out the first 5 games she played poorly. She was at 38% and only 8 points instead of 14 and 58% last year. And she played better. She was 5 for 9, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 for 2 from the 3-point line. Scored 17 points. She had a pretty good game. Mitchell was 5 for 15, so she didn't shoot very well. Wallace played really good defense. She started, and I have to give her credit. She had 4 steals and a block, but she didn't shoot well. She was 1 for 6 from 3 and 2 for 9. So, anyways, and Feg Bentley, she was 3 for 5 with 6 points. She only got 5 shots, unfortunately, but she got 7 rebounds and a steal and a block. She always plays. She hasn't had a poor game yet. So no one else really contributed.
Yeah, she's pretty consistent.
All right. So anyways, that was it. They play again. I guess it's tomorrow night. I forget who's it against. I guess I'll have to look for it.
I believe the Storm. Seattle Storm.
Seattle Storm, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's tomorrow night, and they have 3 home games, and so they play Seattle Storm. We'll have a video for you. Then that's tomorrow night. It'll be Thursday, so a video for you on Friday morning on that game. And that's all we have for today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet for objective view on Caitlin Clark. No, we do. We criticize her. We're just not hate her. And but we're also fans of hers. So, anyways,
Right.
feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments, and spread the good word. We're trying to become a big YouTube channel so we can talk about football and basketball intelligently to a large crowd instead of a
Right. Sign up, subscribe. Peace out.
notification bell. Peace out. Take care.